Welcome children, welcome once again. Today we are going to study about the Great Indian Desert, which is also known as Thar Desert of India. First, let us look at the position of Thar Desert. To the northeast of the Thar Desert, this is the northeast. To the northeast of the Thar Desert is the Satluj River Basin, which essentially has the states of Punjab and Haryana. To the south is the salt marsh known as Rann of Kutch. To the southeast, if you will see, is the Aravalli range of the hills, and the desert extends west into the Pakistan till the Indus River Basin. So this is how you can see the position of the Great Indian Desert or the Thar Desert. You will find that in the northeast, you will find the Satluj River Basin. Towards southeast, you will find the Aravalli range. And towards south, you will find the Rann of Kutch. And it also extends in Pakistan. Now, how's the climate in the Indian desert? The climate in the desert is extreme. We all know that. During the summer, the days are hot and dry. As the sun sets, it becomes cooler. This is because the sand heats up quickly in the day and cools down fast at night. Whereas in winter, the days are pleasant, but the nights become very cold. How's the vegetation? What do you expect? What kind of vegetation will the desert have? There is very little rainfall in the desert. Not many plants grow in the region because of the sandy soil and lack of water. You can only see a few scattered bushes and thorny shrubs. There are a few streams which fill up only when there is rain. There is severe shortage of drinking water for the people who live there. As the land is dry and there is very little vegetation, soil erosion due to wind occurs. The desert has many small hills called the sand dunes. So what are sand dunes? Sand dunes are formed when sand starts piling around any barrier that blocks the sand-laden desert wind. So there is sand-laden desert wind which is blowing. These dunes do not remain at one place. They keep on shifting from one place to another because of the strong winds of the desert. The hot winds carry a lot of sand with them, and severe sandstorms are very common. There are some places in the desert where underground water comes up to the surface in the form of springs. You can see in this picture that some underground water has come up to the surface. Date palm, the trees and the bushes you can see around this pond kind of the underground water. Date palm, kika and babool trees and grasses grow in these areas. Such an area in the desert with water and greenery is called an oasis. So what is an oasis? Oasis is an area in the desert with water and greenery. And how's the population? How are the people living in the desert? The population in the desert area is small. Most villages in deserts come up around places where water is available. As a result of the shortage of food for themselves and their cattle, many people keep moving from one place to another. Such people are called nomads. And the nomads of the Thar Desert are called Banjaras. The nomads of the Thar Desert are called Banjaras. They move from one place to another place in search of food for themselves and their cattle. Now, in the picture, you can see this girl from a nomadic tribe of Rajasthan is cooking rotis made of bajra. And what about farming? In areas where water is available, so millets like jowar, bajra and wheat are grown. The Indira Gandhi Canal, which starts from the Satluj River, we also discussed Indira Gandhi Canal in the previous chapter. The Indira Gandhi Canal, which starts from the Satluj River, provides water to parts of the Thar Desert. These areas have now become green and the farmers can grow a variety of crops there. So the main crops which are grown in Rajasthan are jowar, bajra and wheat. And you can see the ship of the desert. The most common animal in desert is camel, and it is called the ship of the desert. The camel is the most useful animal in the desert. It can withstand the desert heat, walk easily on the sand, and live without food and water for several days. It is therefore called the ship of the desert. Today, modern roads link important cities in the Thar desert and vehicles run on them. However, the camel still remains an important means of transport in the regions. It is used to carry loads, pull carts, and plough fields. Also, its milk and meat serve as food for the people. So now you can see how useful this camel is for the people of desert. The ship of the desert is why camel is called. How about the dresses? Bright, colorful clothes are common among both men and women in Rajasthan. The traditional dress of the women is, as you can see in the picture, ghagra choli with an odhni. Odhni means a dupatta to cover the head. The men wear dhoti kurta and a colorful turban. And this is the traditional dress of the people of Rajasthan. What are the different languages and festivals that are celebrated in Rajasthan or the desert area? Hindi and Rajasthani are the main languages here. The main festivals celebrated in Rajasthan are Holi, Diwali, Eid, Dussehra, Gangor and Tej. And Rajasthan is a very, very important state for tourism. Tourism is an important industry in the state. People from all over the world come to Jaisalmer in Rajasthan during the Desert Festival. Here you can see some snippets from the Desert Festival of Jaisalmer, which is very, very famous and it attracts a lot of tourists. Old forts and historical monuments in Rajasthan are a great attraction for all the tourists from across the country. So children, that was about the Great Indian Desert or the Thar Desert. I hope you have understood everything. And if you have really understood it well, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you and bye-bye.